So, welcome back to episode 3, the do's and don'ts of planning a wedding shoot.
Welcome back.
People are probably looking at this here, they're planning, I'm not planning a wedding shoot. But it is planned, isn't it?
Yeah, of course
so it's
you
kinda-
are
kinda
planning.
good
You're
then.
planning the timeline. You're planning.
Yeah, everything in between. But we planned the weekend away last weekend to Galway.
Us
That's
too.
awesome.
Yeah,
No, were you in Galway?
No, we weren't in Galway. We were in
Alright.
Port Rush, and we both got wasted.
Happy days. Well, I'm telling you,
I don't drink that much. Like once every 6 to months to a year, and it was a lot of fun.
Lindsay, as you
Yeah.
know, doesn't really drink but I had a sample of the finest liqueured Guinness, and it was amazing, Lord. Oh, it was like velvet. Everybody
I
said,
saw that on your stories. Yeah.
"Aye,
Yeah.
my name's Mark. This is my first drink, my second, my third." I got up to about 10, 11. I started giggling. Then I went to about 15. I was like,
10 or 11.
"Aye, pint scotch."
Jesus.
That's over
I'm
a
like at 5 or 6, and I think I'm getting drunk. So
10-hour
that's-
period, like
one an hour.
So we went for some food in between the 6th and 7th
Yeah.
pint, so it was all right then. I had a share and stuff, but Lindsay just, it was my treat, my birthday treat, so it wasn't too bad. But
That's Desi's Christmas gift.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so we decided.
Ah!
Yep, and there was a hot tub outside. It
Right.
was wood burning, and it was really nice. And
I just wanted pubs.
yeah, that's okay too. That's okay too.
So we're chatting about areas to cover when the do's and don'ts of planning a wedding
Yeah.
shoot. First thing people don't realise, I think, coming into weddings is you're responsible for a timeline, at least a timeline to the bride and groom where they can at least say, right, at this stage I want to be here, be there. There's nothing worse than showing up and the groomsmen aren't ready, the bride's away getting her hair done, and it's a wedding day is such a time sensitive day. Also, I don't know if you're aware of this, a lot of hotels have clauses in their contracts where if you show up really late to the meal, the food might perish because they have multiple ovens cooking, and some of them have it in the contract that you could be landed with a heavy fine.
Wow. Yeah,
so
that's not
I haven't heard of anybody really getting caught locally. but
not
I'm-
here.
Nah.
No.
But if you were like, say, called the time was 5, you rocked up at 7, you were delayed, or you stopped at a pub, that just as I say that's one of my no-nos. Do not stop at a pub, because people will get comfortable, and people will lose track of time, and then you have the pressure to try and produce the wedding photos, and you can upset people as well. But areas to cover. Check the gear 24 hours before, and don't leave glass or gear in the car on cold nights. Well, don't leave it in the car fully. I think it's an obvious one there. Like,
Yeah, check your gear. Make sure you have everything. Your
I
straps, your batteries are charged. You have all your.
kind of go over
Lights.
like a wee system and put it in the bag, and then I'll look at
Yeah.
it again. And then I'll always double check in case one of the kids
Yeah.
pull the charger out or something that's
Your
charging the
cards-
batteries.
Your cards are cleared.
Yeah,
That's
uh-huh.
a big thing. That when my first wedding, I was like, oh shit, I forgot to clear all my cards, and but they were already gone through. I just had to clear them. And it only takes 5
imagine,
minutes.
Jesus.
But that's
It
why
takes time.
I leave an hour
Doesn't it?
early. I know that sounds a little excessive, but I would leave an hour early, and then I would just because I have a child, so I just for peace of mind, I leave an hour early and I stop somewhere. I have a drink, not alcohol, but just kind of
Guinness?
like
Yeah, Guinness.
I have whatever it is, a sparkling water or
goodness.
a regular still water, and I sit there, I clear my cards, everything's already there, and I just check over,
Make sure everything's
just kind
in
of like
place.
yeah.
Online booking and the clients paying deposits and seeing packages. So you plan to shoot a wedding, you want to be paid a deposit at least, and you want to be paid typically 30 days before. That is
Yeah.
the kind of
I'm pretty
industry
chilled. I'm like
standard.
2 weeks before, but
2 weeks?
Yeah. I have a call now a month before, and then I say if you want to pay me now, that's fine. But my policy's 2 weeks before, so
I think any online booking, just £300 deposit is what I charge. People say, why not charging 50% or whatever?
yeah,
I don't need to.
I charge 300 as well.
300
Just
euro or pounds.
Yeah.
When booked, what is the process? So typically with myself, I don't know if you use any client management softwares or CRMs, but I use Studio Ninja. I swear by it time and time. It costs £10-15 a month. We actually use it for 2 businesses. So I have Mark Hamill Photography, and then Lindsay, my missus, runs Wandering Fox Photo Booth. And in that, we can go in and see if our calendars both clash. That if I have a wedding one day and she has a photo booth, or it might be the photo booth to my client's wedding. So we offer like a dual package as such. But I love Shooter Ninja. I think it helps me estimate how my years have gone by. I've been using it since 2018.
That's
So it's
really
quite.
great. Yeah.
So I think when I signed up, there was 5,000 photographers. I think they were saying there's over 150,000.
Wow.
Globally.
That is
I
a
think
lot.
100 or 150. It's an amazing software.
Yeah.
It costs £10 or £15 a month, I think it is, and if you refer a friend, you get like a discount for a lifetime.
Wow. Right.
I've referred quite a few, so I
amazing.
go, yeah. So
Yeah.
every person you refer, I think it's a 5 or 10% discount.
Right.
You refer 10 people to it, you're getting it for free. Like you know,
Right. I'm
it's
like-
all right. It's a few quid. You
I'm
save.
like super old school. I
What do you
use
use?
Excel. And
No way.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And this is like, it's not the best way, I know. But I also have Squarespace. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
use my Squarespace for all my scheduling and everything like that. But then like I don't know, I just have my brain is just I don't know, it's turned on to like what I need to do. I know that sounds really crazy and probably so dumb, but I don't have HoneyBook. I don't have, any of
Yeah, yeah.
those
Client
client-
management.
don't have those. I just kind of know.
If it works for your system, and people do
Yeah.
say, they save you hours and hours, but if you have a system in place where Excel
Yeah.
works, then it
when
works
I
for you.
when I book my weddings, I put it on Squarespace. They get an appointment, and then I made it so that it also reminds me 2 weeks before the wedding that I need to, or 6 weeks before the wedding that I need to schedule a Zoom call with them for a month. So I do have my own system,
Yeah.
and it goes in my phone. It's all in my calendar.
Yeah. So the
that's
great thing with the Shooter Ninja, you can also integrate it to your Google Calendar. But what we have is
That's
me and
what I
Lindsay
do. Yeah.
merge our calendars together, not for work, but for like kids' swimming
That's
lessons,
okay.
gymnastics. If we book a night out, if the kids need looked after, if Lindsay's working, I can look that week, and even we link it to the Amazon. It's like a screen thing we got, the Amazon 8 or something, and we just ask what's my schedule this week,
Yeah.
and it reads it out to you. Then that's
Yeah.
been super lazy, like so just lifting your phone. But once a book, you do wedding guides, Lauren, as well. I don't
Yeah, I have
do
a
that.
wedding guide. Yeah, it's just basically preps the client, like to what they're going to. Every wedding's different, but most weddings are the same. You have the prep, and then so they know, okay, this is my prep guide. All right, so I need to just set up in a room with lots of light. That is important, but you can always use flash. But it's nicer when you have natural light. So
Yeah,
it just kind
I
of
think so.
prepares them, the pre-ceremony, the ceremony. It kind of tells each bride, what to expect, on a day. So that's my wedding guide, really. And then at the end of the wedding guide, it just kind of tells you like my systems of booking, like you contact me, we have a little call, 2 weeks, 2 weeks before or a month before the wedding, we have another call. It kind of just goes through the whole thing. You pay your
breaking it
booking
down.
fee. I
I
missed
think it's
that
kind of
one.
like an instruction manual almost
Yeah.
to your brides and grooms. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people do crazy amount of work in their guides, and they have like absolutely everything. They've integrated like wedding templates and wedding videos into guides. They really go above and beyond, and it's awesome. But I've kind of been lazy and I haven't really gone that far. But this year, I promised myself I'm going to look into at least having like some sort of PDF file or some sort of video content that I can put out there and say, hey, you booked me, thank you, and here's the
Yeah, the
steps.
videos, I haven't been brave enough to put a video, and maybe I will now, but I haven't put.
Oh, you need to be now. Look
Yeah.
at
I don't know. Well, like I haven't been brave enough to put a video or a thank you video, or like when they fill out the form, I think it would be so brilliant, and I'm sure thousands of photographers have done this. But you fill out the form, and then it says, "Hey, I'm Lauren. Thanks for filling out my form." Like all the blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely. Just when you put an
that's-
inquiry in.
Exactly.
So before the wedding and booking timelines with clients, so it's about booking, but scheduling a time to talk about the timelines. I think it's so important.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I believe with a timeline in place, it gives expectation of what you require, and it also lets you gauge. Now, from time to time, I've had clients, and I think I spoke about this before. Pubs. Oh Jesus! Do not stop at a
pubs.
pub in your wedding. If you might have a family pub,
Yeah.
you might stop. Warn everybody before they go and listen to one drink, because right away your mentality when you walk in the pub is, well, in Ireland is
Yeah.
I'm relaxed. I'll just sit here, have a bag of crisps, have a drink. There's nothing worse than feeling rushed out of it.
Absolutely.
So the way they
It's your
avoid that
wedding
is
day.
they not
Yeah.
go into it, not stop at a friend's pub or a fan pub. You might want to, it might be absolutely you need it, but as long as you can manage and factor that into the timeline, and I don't hate, but it's my job to say, well, listen, especially in winter weddings when they're limited with time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Say, for instance, receiving lines or leading lines. If you have a Donegal wedding, a big wedding, 200, 250 people, and you want to receive people at the end of your service, a kiss in the cheek and a quick chat.
Add on 30 minutes.
At
definitely.
least per
Yeah.
100. Yeah. So
Literally, yeah.
so people stop and a wee chat.
Yeah.
And also what brides don't like as well, they don't factor in, is that their makeup diminishes because they're getting so many kisses in the cheek. And the grooms, I notice, you probably notice as well, they come up with
Oh, all
makeup
the time.
stains and
Yeah.
around the collar makeup where it needs a wee bit of extra editing. But factoring those in and having that, and I think as well that it's in my contract that people have to be willing to participate in the timeline that we arrange.
Absolutely.
And being able
yeah.
to factor that into the day. And if they're like, I had a bride and groom one time. I better be careful here rather than spit out names, but the timeline was perfect. Everything was going great. We were all on schedule, and all of a sudden the bride and groom were coming out in a big Jeep, and I was all, where's he going? They just drove around town, beeping the horn. I was all,
Stop it.
40 minutes on
40
the day.
minutes.
And I was like, I'm losing control or grips to this day.
That's a really long
I was like,
time.
what is going on? But by the time we got to location, shut up, we got to the hotel, and we were just rushed. And
Yeah.
I feel that I could have offered them 40 minutes were golden 40 minutes. Like, you could have got so
Sure.
much.
Yeah. I like
covered.
I do the same as you, but I used to get really stressed out if like in my head, and I wouldn't let anybody else know, but I would get stressed out in my head if we weren't running on time. So then but now I'm just like, hey, it is what it is. I have told you what I want you to do or what I think needs to be done, like you told me you want to get to the hotel at 4:30 or something unrealistic. Like some people are like, oh, we need to be at a hotel at 3:00. And then I'm just kind of like, well, your ceremony's at 1. It's 25 minutes to the hotel. Like, factor in your bride and groom photos, your bridesmaids and groom photos, your family photos. If you want those all done after the ceremony, you're gonna really be squeezing that in.
I think it's from our perspective to educate the client also as well, and to tell the client, this is what I need. But
yeah,
in the previous episode too, we talked about second shooters. That's a great way for second shooters, because what I do, here's the tip for you.
yeah,
I asked for a wee bit of feedback, and I could kind of get a vibe off the bride that something was kind of bothering her. I said, hey, if you have any feedback, I'd appreciate it. She did right away give me feedback. She said, I didn't appreciate you, Mark, you were on your phone quite a bit in the day. I wasn't on my phone. I was checking the timeline. I was like, shit. So what I do is I get the paper, and I just have the paper.
Yeah.
And if they see me looking at the paper, that's fine. But I'll be
Right.
checking the timeline. But I'm not like playing games or scrolling
Sure,
or whatever.
yeah.
And then when I explained to her, she goes, I'm so sorry. I just thought you were just on your phone. We were out on location. You pulled your phone out, and I was checking the times to make sure we
Sure,
were all okay.
yeah.
I seen you in the chapel too. I was checking the times in the chapel.
Yeah.
Sorry, I picked that up wrong. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, but it's what I do now is I just do a wee printout on an A4 page, and if I'm looking at that, I'm
Because
obviously
of
not-
that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So there's a wee
Yeah.
tip for you.
I still keep my timeline on my phone because I can see the time and the timeline. I'm like, okay, it's 3:30, and now
I've seen a great one where this is a really good tip as well, where you print out the timeline or you have
Yeah.
it in the computer, and before you leave home, you take the first picture in your whole formatted memory card as the timeline.
Oh yeah.
Then you can click on the camera and flick it round. So the
Yeah.
very first picture is, that's the timeline. You're looking at your camera
Yeah.
rather than your phone. I've seen that as a get out of jail free card.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody, what is it? To each their own, right? Everybody
To each
does
their
it
own,
differently. Yeah.
But it depends as well. I'm kind of one to overanalyze the time, and I think I would have been probably repetitively looking at my phone. So what was that time again? What was that time?
Sure.
Maybe you're glancing every hour, and it's okay.
I barely. I just know we have this done. What's next? Do you know what I mean? Like, what
just
time
to
is it?
factor it in.
Yeah.
So I do weather checks also. Don't know if you do this 48 and 24 hours before.
Oh, of course, yeah. Just to know, like, your backup
is.
plans. What is your backup plan?
But
Or-
also, what I do is I involve mainly the bride. I know grooms want to get involved as well, but mainly the bride. I would send a screenshot. Hey, just to update the weather is, and there's been no rains 200 days a year in
I know,
Ireland.
it's a ridiculous amount.
Shit. What was July? Last July was the wettest July on record
Yeah,
in Ireland.
it was-
Fucking,
It was grim.
it was 26 days or 27 days of rain.
Yeah.
Not continually, but it rained.
It was grim.
a lot, like,
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely do weather checks. And you know what? Sometimes I don't want to stress the bride out, but I need to tell her, like, hey, listen, we are going to, say, the Poison Glen or something, which our audience might not know, but it's a beautiful place with an abandoned church, mountains,
Yeah.
and a lake, and it's absolutely
Yes,
gorgeous.
it is.
But it is out in the open. There's no trees. There's no coverage really at all. So, you know, you might have to go to your nearby woods where there's a little bit of coverage,
Yeah.
like the leaves are there and
Yeah.
everything. So you have to have a backup plan, you know, and sending the bride weather 24 hours, it's like, do I send this to her? I owe you. Yeah, I do send it though. I do.
99.9% of photographers would agree with me. They all want natural light photos, and me
Yeah.
personally, I do. I don't thrive to run out. Winter weddings as well, pulling the schedule back, and that's another tip for a bride. If they're booking a 1 p.m. wedding on a winter, say a winter sauce, like the 22nd of December, I think it is.
21st.
21st,
Yeah.
yeah. It's dark at 2:30 here.
I
Like,
know.
So it's kind of in the mornings now, and in January it's picking up a little bit, but
Doing a winter wedding, book it at 12.
12,
You know what I
100%.
mean? Just
So-
do it.
Setting realistic goals for locations and making sure timelines, then the travel times are needed, or considering traffic delays and time of day. Friday weddings are getting super popular. Friday traffic.
Oh
I'm
yeah, well,
noticing.
depending where you live, yeah, absolutely. You know,
Like sort of like Letterkenny, you know, where
if you're in Letterkenny
getting
doing
congested. Yeah.
yeah.
School runs. If we're traveling between, say, the services at 1, it finishes at 2. There could be school traffic around inner city or even outdoor areas as well. And also factoring in your to and from spots. So the first thing I would do would be do a Google Maps of where the prep location is, the travel time to the chapel church, or if it's a civil ceremony, to the hotel, the travel time to the location that they've preferred or I've advised, and then also the travel time out. Some of the weddings I think just get absorbed by traveling sometimes, that people have it really in their head. I know you want amazing photos and that location means a lot to you, but there is some times that I think we are
Pushing it.
Nah, we are
Yeah.
really. And I always try, I don't know if you tried this, Lauren, I try and get the bride and groom in to at least 1 hour before call to dine to give them that cocktail hour, as it's called in America, where they
Absolutely.
can mingle with guests, have a chat.
99% of my
Aye,
couples
it's-
want to enjoy the food that they paid for.
Yeah, of course,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
definitely.
Like, and I completely agree. And I love to capture, like I'm in there capturing cocktail hour. I don't just take a break. I just, I just go in full force and I'm taking
Street
pictures.
sandwiches.
Yeah. You pretend to take a picture of the little,
Just
hors
zoom out and
d'oeuvre.
grab it,
And yeah.
That's it. That-
I mean, should you do that? Like, I don't know. Is that bad? I don't know. Like you're starving.
Aye,
Sometimes I'm
yeah.
shaking by the time I get there. But yes, I also do pack my own lunch.
No way, do you?
I'm an overpacker. I am a snacker. And they used to call me the snack queen because I just
Right.
carried snacks every single where. I would carry this is terrible. I used to carry on tours and stuff, because I just loved sprinkles. I would
Right.
carry sprinkles in my pocket,
Right.
and I just throw them into my. That looked weird on camera.
Yeah. Jesus! I'm saving that. I'm cutting that.
So bad. Oh my god. I did
Send
that.
out the desert.
Yeah. But I used to carry spring. I mean, that's not like a real food group or anything like that. Sugar. But I just love snacks.
Yeah.
I will pack my full lunch for the wedding, and I will eat it in my car if we're driving to back and forth and
I would
stuff.
go
So
for
I do.
a 1 or 2 Red Bull, which I don't like drinking all the time, and protein bars if I can. I'm lazy. I'm just that not disorganized, but
Protein
just
bars. Yeah, protein bars are a good idea.
great.
I don't know
Just
if
to
they're
curb the
great
hunger.
for you, but I do eat them pretty
Yeah.
much,
there's
every
grenade
wedding.
bars. I think they are. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
expensive. They're like 4 quid each.
I think they are. They're like
Yeah.
$3.25 or something like
Yeah.
that. Pounds,
So-
which is like $4.
So prepping for wet days or storms, again, it rains 200 days a year in Ireland. I
Yeah.
think that's one of the things that Irish photographers can really give themselves a pat on the back, that we do have the climate to make it difficult for us to work, and I would never try and force a bride or groom out in the rain. Maybe with an umbrella, a few steps away from the entrance door.
It's not too windy.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
if
mean?
it's protected,
Like,
yeah.
it depends on the bride too, because I've had brides that are like, I don't give a shit. It's my day. I want to, I want photos in the rain. Like I want to show my kids, look, it rained on our wedding day, but we still got beautiful pictures. Like I'm very prepared with umbrellas.
100%. Yeah,
like
yeah.
every good photographer has umbrellas.
But I think to get out of jail free, Curtis, obviously, if you are talented in off-camera flash and being able to layer the photo, if you have like a rim light or a background light, a key light, you can work. Yeah,
Absolutely.
You can work. Or some of the hotels that we've worked in the past were sure of open bay windows where you get that lake of light coming in, and I love big open windows. If the sun's coming down and it's a soft enough light coming in, I definitely try and utilize that and try and factor it in where I can.
Yeah.
So also working with all our vendors like videographers and more recent CCs or content creators. Here's a thing. We're going to have videographers on this, but with videographers, I believe and think that they're well rehearsed, and I know content creation is kind of like a new fad, people are calling it. It could be just every wedding has a content creator, but some videographers in the past, and I always find out who it is before the wedding, need their 30 minutes to go and do things with the bride and groom on their own. They want that. If they want that, that's fine, but it has to be reflected on the primary creator, which I think you'll agree is the photographer, and the videography is secondary, but it's up to the bride and groom to make sure that they're aware of that. And I do have a clause in my contract that any additional time required by any third-party vendors is to be ran by me, for the bride and groom to let me know.
I don't think I have that in my contract.
I've never had anybody, we work with some amazing videographers, but I think it's important that if there is a videographer and he or she's starting out or they're not really well known and they require that time limit, I don't know, but what's your time frame in the couples? Mine's about 45 minutes. I would typically need maybe an hour for all the bridal party and the couple photos.
I am about 20 minutes for bride and groom photos.
Yeah.
If you are in a place where you don't have to walk that much, you know what I mean? And 15 minutes for bridesmaids and groomsmen. I am quick with that. But it really depends. If you have a big group and then I'm like, they want to do a line, they want to run through the line, they want to do, I don't know, they want to throw the bride up in the air. I don't know. Everybody wants to do different things. Actually, I've never done that one. I lied. I did it once. And it worked out really well. I was actually it was really cool looking. But yeah, I mean, it just really depends on what the bride and groom wants, right?
Yeah.
But like most of the time, bride and groom wants to get to the party. They're not models. They just, want pretty pictures and stuff.
If I had £1 for every time someone said to me, listen, we're not really posing, we're just after a few photos.
Oh my gosh.
But then, you are after a few photos, but you're also capitalizing on one of the milestones of your life, and you want to capture that in the best possible way.
I can't stress that enough to people, because there are some people that are like, oh, we just want 5 minutes. Like, I'm like, but this is like your only chance to get your photos, or like, oh, we'll just do it at the hotel or something, which is totally fine. But if you don't have a nice hotel or with nice light, or your hotel's really cramped, or if you're in a house, sometimes you rent these little houses out, like, and you have 100 people there and you don't have any free room at all. Because in Ireland, they have beautiful, venues that are houses, but there's only 6 rooms or something like that. Bedrooms. And then there's like 3 main rooms, and you have 110 guests, and you're just crammed in there and you can't go anywhere, and it's raining out, it's really tough. And then the bride and groom don't want to go outside.
We work at a lot of venues where the grounds are impeccable and they're amazing, beautiful, and then the rain starts.
The rain starts. Sick, I know.
And it kind of dissolves. And even that misty rain, I had one there in December, and all day it was just that misty rain that you walk out and you don't realize. It's just you're soaked within a few minutes.
But working with vendors, it
is 100%.
I got off track, sorry.
So educating clients on timeframes and avoiding fines from hotels I spoke about earlier, and overly late clients. So just about, again, us educating our clients and being able to tell them, this is what I need from me and this is the time you've given me, and I'll work it as best as I can. But also, it's okay to say no to a client if we can't do it and you think it's going to be
just like
possible.
I said, the second shooting thing, it's like if you're more than 20 minutes away or 25 minutes away, really pushing it, then I don't really want to go over to the groom's house and waste an hour of the day, you know.
I like putting expectations out in the client to try and meet them, but always slightly surpass them if I can.
Yeah.
You know, give them that something a little bit extra that they weren't expecting. Or if it was a wet day, we had the umbrella, the backlighting shot.
Absolutely.
Anything,
yeah.
you know, wee bits like that. But it's all good and well us saying this as well, but it is about making sure that your client knows what's expected. It's not like we're bossy or anything.
Yeah.
I usually notice with the bridesmaids, whatever time it usually takes you to get dressed, multiply by 5. You take five minutes.
The dress.
Oh, 5 minutes off a dress
Yes.
on. Look for 25
Yes.
minutes.
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
people are leaving and they're like, "Why you get my dress on an hour and a half before we're to leave? Because it's going to take you about 30 minutes to do that."
Depends on the
Then
dress,
the bride
too.
has to come on, yeah.
Yeah,
And the bride,
yeah.
and for me to get the shots.
Yeah.
And then I need another 20 minutes maybe just down below again, just to factor that in.
Sometimes they get emotional too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It
So,
does happen,
you know,
yeah.
and then you're just like, oh no, like, oh, and then sometimes they need a minute, you know, where it's like that turns into 20 minutes.
So here's one for you. When meeting the bridesmaids and the brides, obviously been a meal in the mornings, I said to them firstly, is it okay, I'll be moving your shoulders or moving your arms to kind of change the poses and change up the look. And they're usually 99.9% of the time, yeah, it's fine, no problem at all. But what I also do as well is I have a chat with the bride and I said, listen, today, if you need me to remove you from an environment, if it's overwhelming, if it's getting too emotional, if
yeah.
you just think 300 things are coming at you at 1 second, just say to me, Mark, see that photo that I asked you for? Can I get that shot now? And that's basically you saying to me, take me away from this environment. If you take away, do a 3 second in, hold your breath 3 seconds, and 3 seconds out, and just dissipate the stress, because it is probably one of the best days in your lives, but one of the most stressful. What do they say?
Absolutely.
Having a child, getting married, and buying a house is moving house. Sorry, it's the 3 most stressful things you do in your life.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
You know, this is not off topic, but like talking about like relaxing and everything.
Yeah.
So like I always tell the bride, like right when you're at the aisle and you're just about, you know, give yourself like 1 or 2 minutes just to like breathe and like think, this is what I'm going to do. This is so exciting. Like don't like move past that so fast. Don't be like,
Throw
okay,
yourself
don't.
into it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. And another thing is I always tell the bridesmaids, like, don't walk down one by one you know, don't walk down right after another.
Yes.
Like I can't capture you
In a
if you're
straight
right
line,
behind the other person.
One by one.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
But
And
sometimes people get nervous. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
just-
I just say when the one bridesmaid gets to the end, then you go. And I have had a bride and her dad or whoever's walking her down the aisle right behind the fucking bridesmaid. And I can't capture the bride walking down the
You
aisle
need a clear line of sight.
because there's 4 bridesmaids in front of her. And then by the time the bride gets there, she's just right in front of me.
That's it.
You know?
That's
So-
100%. Yeah, when they're
Yeah.
popping down, and it's not even that. It's when the bridesmaids are coming down. You can't probably shoot them, but it's the last second you
Yeah,
don't get them
that's-
walking down.
A mistake I made my first wedding and I
Yeah.
never made it again.
That's it.
You know, so
That's all saying. Once
Yeah.
bitten, twice shy. Like, you know.
exactly.
But I think it's a good idea as well. There's an old saying: "Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast."
Mm-hmm.
Slowing things down sometimes, and just trying to dissipate the speed that you're trying to get things in. Say, right, I'll just take my time. Sometimes when I start shooting, I know my first few minutes, I wouldn't say nervous, but
Sure.
I'm just anxious to get the shots that I want to get and see how they're coming out, especially on location. But that's why I try and get the bridesmaids and the groomsmen out of the way, send them on their way. And if the bride and groom and I get them on their own, I can relax it then, have a wee chat with them, have a bit of banter, make them feel relaxed. And
Yeah.
I always say to them, if you can't imagine going to a pub and having a drink with me, don't book me. You know, we're probably not a good match. Like, you know,
I always like
so-
to have a Zoom chat with my clients before.
100%.
Make sure
yeah.
we're the right fit.
It
I
is,
think,
yeah.
you know, I mean, there are a lot of clients who already know me from
Mm-hmm.
other weddings that just book me, do you know? But like,
Bridesmaids, great.
yeah.
You just come in and you see your bride and you're like, hey,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Do you have a ring on your finger? No, that's weird. Like-
But, no, it is 100%.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
weddings are fun. But I think just the overall chat about the do's and don'ts of planning
Mm-hmm.
is that we are responsible for planning. So I think the most important thing is knowing it's our responsibility to actually not plan the whole day, but actually plan that timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And the more prep we do before the day, the more we can expect and frame it and box it into, you know,
Yeah, I
what's
feel
all
much more
saying?
relaxed when I have a timeline. I am a planner. I love to plan
Yes,
things,
aye.
and Yeah,
Well,
just
what's what I was saying? Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. You know,
Yeah.
and the more you prepare yourself, and like there's other things we've written down here, like bring snacks, protein bars, medicine. Bring a medicine. You wouldn't think bringing
Yeah,
medicine
sewing
on a wedding.
kit, scissors.
Imodium,
Yeah.
paracetamol, cocodamol. If you have any drugs that you have to take for your health or anything, making sure they're all
Yeah.
packed in the car.
Yeah.
Battery extras. I think batteries has to be. Well, how many batteries do you have? 4?
8.
8. Jesus, that is it.
Like
Like
a
4
lot.
anyway. Like so,
Yeah.
4. I think just a battery and a backup battery. But I think the Sony's now the A7 IVs. It's
Well,
about
your battery lasts longer than mine.
one battery. So
Yeah.
the screen isn't as big with the LCD in it. Your car, I think I've never had a touch wood, but my car is getting on a bit. But a well serviced car, good tires, a spare tire in your car just in case the worst case
Spare
scenario.
tire, because I can tell you, there's been my second shooter one time got a flat tire, but he was prepared. He had another tire.
Yeah,
So,
so
you know.
it is worth even
It's
servicing, looking
scary.
after your car, even the
Yeah.
winter weddings. If you're in Ireland again, like
Yeah.
our winter, making sure that it's running half decent. There's no issues with it, because some of the weddings we could be traveling, like you go a little bit further than me, but I think like
I'm all over the
Enniskillen's about an
place.
hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And you could expect Cabra Castle's about an hour 45.
Yeah,
like,
I've
so
never shot there, but I would love to.
I've one booked. It's actually a hairdresser, a bridal hairdresser, so I'm buzzing, absolutely buzzing for that.
Nice.
It is really a popular area, like so. It's so amazing. I'd seen on that Ireland is overtook Iceland as the most popular area to elope in. Supposedly,
Well,
so
yeah, you know what? That is a very popular subject right now, is eloping.
is,
So we
yeah.
will be talking about eloping.
yeah, we'll have to get that factored in,
Yeah.
because we can go all day.
Yeah.
About things, but hopefully we don't run off the sheet, you know. So going forward, we're going to be releasing a couple more podcasts, and we're going to listen to the listeners and see what they have to.
Any ideas? Let us
Any ideas,
know,
guys?
you know?
Anything you think that you
Yeah.
would like to see or like to hear? We are going to be planning a few orbits with our vendors, videographers, clinical psychologists, to think about the thought and the process and behind photography, and hopefully give you guys a wee insight. So where can we find you at, Lauren?
LaurenCarrollPhotos.com.
Is it photos or photography? You have?
Photos.
Right.
Lauren Carroll Photography was taken,
On the way.
which really sucked, because that's what I liked. I don't like saying Lauren Carroll Photos. I don't even like saying photos, but that's what I'm stuck with. So I mean, that's Lauren Carroll Photography was she's in like Louisiana somewhere, and I know that because because my website domain was taken, but it was because somebody tagged me and said, "Oh, Lauren Carroll photos of this beautiful wedding." I was like, "That ain't mine."
Right.
I was like, I had to tell her like that. Lauren Carroll Photography is taken. She's
I
got
tried
a beautiful.
to buy, what year was it? 2016. Tried to buy markhamill.com.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Fucking Luke
yeah.
Skywalker fan
Yeah, of
club. It's a
course.
fan page.
Yeah.
And I emailed the guy. He didn't respond to me. Emailed him again, and he says it's not for sale. And if it was, it would be 6 figures. I was
Wow.
Like, I'm alright.
Okay.
I was looking for 500 quid for the domain name. So
Yeah,
hamillphotography.com. I went with it's just the surname.
Yeah.
And everybody wants it .com. You know,
Sure,
kind of the
yeah.
websites but you
Yeah.
can find me at markhamillphotography.com or hamillphotography.com or Mark Hamill Photography on Instagram. So we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Later.
Bye.